Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about negating versus destroying when it comes to continuous spells and continuous traps. Videos by YGOSmurf. Be creative. So I'm trying a new thing, putting the intro a little bit after what the video is about. Let me know how you guys feel about it in the description below. But on to the actual content, since for some reason, I'm not really sure, but Fire Fist have started appearing again and becoming popular once more. There are certain conditions when it comes to negating versus destroying a card. So, for example, with spells and traps that don't stay on the field after activation, such as a normal spell card, quick play spell card, ritual spell card, or a normal trap card. When it comes to these cards, if you were to chain a Mystical Space Typhoon or a Dust Tornado to their activations, it wouldn't do anything since their effects still get activated and don't require them to stay on the field for their effects to go through. So essentially that Mystical Space Typhoon or Dust Tornado would be wasted. This is not the same with continuous trap cards, spell cards, field spell cards, equip, yada yada yada. All of the ones that continuously stay on the field after activation. And that is due to the fact that all field spell cards, continuous trap cards, continuous spell cards, and equip spell cards are treated as if they have this text written on them. You must control this face-up card to activate and to resolve this effect. Since it is applied to all of them, Konami doesn't print it on them, even though it would make something simpler. But whatever. Since all of those continuous cards are treated like they have that text, it means that certain effects won't go off if it gets destroyed. For example, if I activate Macrocosmos and you activate Mystical Space Typhoon or Dust Tornado, what happens first? Chain Link 2, Mystical Space Typhoon destroys Macrocosmos, and then Macrocosmos, since it isn't on the field anymore, doesn't get to special summon it. Basically, it resolves with no effect. This is true with Fire Formation Tanky as well. Let's say I activate Fire Formation Tanky, you activate Mystical Space Typhoon. Mystical Space Typhoon will destroy Fire Formation Tanky, and then Tanky's effect will not happen because it's no longer on the field for the search to be allowed to happen. However, with certain cards, like continuous trap cards that can be activated in response to another card, with, let's say, you're going to activate Mystical Space Typhoon and select one of my face-down back row. The face-down back row that you happen to select was a Macrocosmos. I can chain Macrocosmos, and then it will be chain link 2. So what happens is first Macrocosmos activates, allowing me to special summon Helios. And then Mystical Space Typhoon destroys Macrocosmos and sends it to the graveyard. So I still get that trigger effect because when it was attempting to resolve, Macrocosmos was still on the field. It is important to note that effects that are trigger-like still activate and are treated normally. So, for example, let's say Gear Town, you activated as Chain Link 1. I chain Mystical Space Typhoon to destroy it. So, Mystical Space Typhoon destroys Gear Town. Gear Town's effect tries to resolve, but has no effect. Then, since the last thing to happen was not Gear Town being destroyed, but Gear Town's effect not activating, you don't get to special summon a monster from your deck. However, if I were to play Magic Jammer when you play Gear Town, and Gear Town's effects gets negated and then destroyed, the last thing to happen was Gear Town's being destroyed, and therefore you would get to activate Gear Town's effect, special summon a monster from the deck. There it is, the difference between destroying and negating when it comes to continuous cards and how they kind of work together, how destroying a continuous card at Chain Link 2 can potentially work as negating that card's effects. And that is due to the text saying that in order to resolve this effect, this card has to be face up on the field. And destroying it makes it not face up on the field. Simple as that. If you would like to see some general scenarios, including some other examples on cards where destroying it doesn't work or does work to stop the effect, let me know in the comments or by liking this video, and I'll be sure to get those examples out and potentially do even more general scenarios within the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! That are affected by certain rulings of cards. So comment your thoughts about this video and the new intro placing down below. Like this video, it makes me warm and fuzzy inside. Share this video so your friends know what you're talking about. Subscribe to me if you deem me worthy. Have a wonderful day, guys.